You're listening to episode 376 of the Major Issues Podcast, and on this episode, we tackle Justice League Crisis on Two Earths just in time for its 15-year anniversary. The Major Issues Podcast starts right now. Hello, everybody out there in comic book land. My name is George Serrano, aka The Don, and if you're listening to this, you can only be here for one reason. It's a brand new episode of the Major Issues Podcast, brought to you each and every week by ComicBookClique.com. And as always, I am never alone. Sir, if you could please introduce yourself.
Oh, he's talking about me. It's John Escudero, aka Yogi. I'm in the house.
Yogi's here from a distant Earth, and there's another portal opening up. Sir, if you could please introduce yourself.
I'm the Black Harrison Wells, Gregory Thomas, aka GT Rebirth.
We got Black Wells. We got Yogi in the house. It's a multiversal party. It's multiversal get together here, and how apropos, because we are here to talk about Crisis on Two Earths, celebrating its 15-year anniversary. And after
That's crazy.
And after some deep dives, possibly the first comic book animated movie to tackle the multiverse.
I think so. I can't think of another one.
Yeah, I guess so. I can only think of like movies that were clearly set in other universes.
Yeah,
but didn't tackle that there were other ones. Like there was no crossover.
You know, and like what a quaint concept at the time, 15 years ago. Like, ooh, there could be another Earth. Now there's nothing but that all the time from every direction. It's just kind of interesting here.
I remember when it was still like just a comic thing, and I was like, man, this is cool. We've got a movie with it now, and then the Flash. I remember the first mention of the multiverse, the explanation on the Flash being all excited, and now it's like, of course they oversaturated it. I brought this upon myself. Be careful what you wish for.
It's one of those interesting things where it's just like there's such a significant difference between when a movie goes like, let's tackle this idea, and then the industry goes, let's tackle this idea.
Yeah,
that's because listen, I love the multiverse concept. I'll never not love the multiverse concept. They can't take it from me. They can fuck it up as much as they want. There's always going to be stories that I already love, and some better person will always come along later on and do some good stuff with it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think any movie has touched on what they could do with the multiverse. Like there's been some. If I would have known I was going to talk about this, I would have fucking came up with a bunch of examples, but it's just the stream of fucking.
We don't have 3 hours, John.
Consciousness. But it's just they ended up using it as a way to bring nostalgia. Like it ended up being a nostalgia machine instead of like a great storytelling tool, which is really sad to see.
Yeah, because ultimately the big, it all boils down to the differences, right? The differences in choices and what makes people different across the multiverse. But even as a 15-year-old animated film, and the whole thing is 75 minutes long, I quite enjoyed this. It's not the first time I've seen it. I haven't seen it in years, but what a tightly plotted, tightly written story, considering the amount of time that it's taken. John, I just immediately went back and thought of the Crisis on Infinite Earths thing that we covered, where at several points I'm watching it going, why are we spending time here? What are we doing here? Whereas this, like, if it's not a very important scene for exposition or for tone, they're throwing hands. In and out.
They're like, we got a little romance in there, in and out.
Yeah, the worst part it's not even sexless. Like they do a mind meld in here on the first date.
Which, by the way, this is literally like bless voice work. It is the only scenario where I can imagine that Gina Torres and James Woods are sleeping together.
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, yeah. a little bit of the homework up front. Justice League Crisis on Two Earths is a 2010 American animated superhero film directed by Lauren Montgomery and Sam Liu, with a screenplay by Dwayne McDuffie,
Yeah,
one of the
the
GOATs. Rest in
goat.
peace. Originally titled Justice League Worlds Collide, Dwayne McDuffie's script was commissioned for a planned direct-to-video feature in 2004 meant to bridge the finale of Justice League and the beginning of Justice League Unlimited. However, due to a tight TV schedule and various other problems, it was not produced then. The plot is inspired by the 1964 Justice League of America number 29 through 30 storyline, Crisis on Earth 3. And the 2000, I think I actually have one of those comics. And the 2000
Grant Morrison, baby.
graphic novel JLA Earth 2 by Grant Morrison. It follows a heroic Lex Luthor from an alternate universe who seeks the Justice League's help to defeat the crime syndicate. Justice League Crisis on Two Earths were released on February 23rd, 2010.
Would you have preferred it as animated series, like Bruce Timm style designs and all that?
I don't feel like this was too far off. Like, obviously it wasn't, a 1-for-1 match, but I felt like this was almost complimentary, like almost like an evolution of sorts, besides the guy liner they put on Ultraman, which kept making me...
I fucking hated Ultraman's design. The whole thing.
He looks more like the old school, like the really weird, wonky. Because like Owlman, I feel like in his first appearance, literally has an owl head, like in the 1964 or whatever the heck. And I feel like so I feel like they were doing some of that weird stuff here, where I felt like the very first time I remember the Crime Syndicate was from Forever Evil. That's the first time I dealt with them, like, and this person's that. I thought the concept was pretty funny.
Good times.
And then I went back and realized how much of a staple they were, not only in past comics but in stories like this. Because like this,
that's like New 52 Crime Syndicate, right?
Yeah, with Alfred as the what the fuck
stranger?
was his name? The Stranger. Yeah, that was crazy.
Stranger Danger.
And like Mashmish.
It was Mashmish.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of weird stuff though. There was a lot of differences.
I just remember Aquaman dying immediately as they got their Aquaman dying, Sea King dying immediately when they came to Earth Prime or whatever. Like they teleport and there's just a smoldering skeleton. But I don't know why at the time I didn't piece that this was that team. I just felt like this was just an evil Justice League. I didn't think that they had like a storied history and they've been around forever and they're each a unique character. It felt like any sort of Nickelodeon show where they went to an evil, like there's an evil version of these characters.
That's kind of the way they sell it.
All needed goatees.
Fair.
That's an easy way for kids to understand it too. You don't want to get too into the history of it or whatever. Totally. But I almost wish, for me personally, I know that they wanted to differentiate or whatever, but I really wish they would have made Ultraman's suit look a little more like Superman's outfit. Yeah, I feel like it comes across obviously because of the way that they move and everything that it's Superman. But I was like, damn, they kind of took away the whole Superman look.
You think you're disappointed now? Wait till you get to June. No.
I've heard stories, man. I've heard stories.
That's gonna be the thing that keeps it from being perfect too. Watch. It's gonna be like, wow, it was so good, and then that happened.
That's gonna be the reason you put out your cue.
I know it.
Like, you know what? Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Nothing changes.
Yo, I'm always there, man. I was like, oh wow, I'm a nihilist too.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Sean's just always on the edge of nihilism. Just like,
I was like, damn, I'm related to Owlman a little bit too much. What the fuck? He's hitting.
He was cooking. That man was spitting.
But Jesus.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this film, I think you have to like rent it. I had it digitally, but I
had to rent it.
Yeah, like I'm like, why isn't this where it should be? At the various places it should be. Like, first and foremost,
Max. How's it not on Max?
Yeah, But
Yeah,
the
no,
other
I
crisis is,
texted John, "Where are you watching this?" And he's like, "It's not on Max." I'm like, "No, the only
yeah,
crisis
I
on
had
here
to
is Infinite."
borrow it from the internet. I'll give it back.
yeah,
I'll get it. I'll give it
got it from
back.
another Earth.
Yeah.
There you go. Um, so yeah, we're getting into a full recap and review of this 15-year-old film. Like I said, 75 minutes, so this thing goes off in a clip. But great pacing, great writing, obviously. Like we said, great creative team behind it. But yeah, so our story starts off in an alternate universe where Lex Luthor and his version of the Joker, called the Jester, pull off a high-stakes heist, breaking into a heavily fortified building and stealing a device called the Quantum Trigger from the crime syndicate headquarters.
Mhm.
Luther says, "Now we have a
As seen on
chance."
Doctor Who or something. I don't know.
Or
Yeah,
or like the beginning of All Along the Watchtower, which is
yeah,
what I always think of. The Joker says to
Uh,
the
fair, fair, fair. Unfortunately, their little break-in tripwires an alarm, which puts the syndicate on their tail. Realizing that they both won't be able to escape in time, Jester hangs back and gives him time to get away. Once members of the syndicate arrive, Jester sacrifices himself by blowing himself up. Luther is confronted outside by the crime syndicate members Ultraman, Superwoman, Power Ring, Owlman, and Johnny Quick. But Luther uses a trans-dimensional device to hop over to the mainline Justice League Earth, promising to finish what he and Jester started. So nice, cool little opener here. What
I
do you
feel
guys
like his
think?
name should have been Jack Quick.
Jack Quick.
Jester smoked like a what was it, a hot girl, like a very, I don't want to variant. Variant's a weird
I don't know
Marvel
why
word for
my
it.
mind immediately when I first saw her went to Wonder Woman. I guess it's because isn't that kind of like the design in Gods and Monsters, like a more Greek,
It is. It is.
Athens
You're right.
sort of thing?
In what in Gods and
I'm
Monsters. Yeah.
really upset that you mentioned Gods and Monsters because I lived in a happier world where I forgot that happened.
I
You
don't know.
didn't like it?
I don't know if
I
You
thought it
lost
was.
you lost me
I
at
thought it was
Vampire
fun.
Superman.
you thought it
He's
was fun.
General Zod's. He's Zod too. It's like a whole fucking crazy thing there. They
There's
were
a
just
lot going
making
on.
Elseworld movies.
Yes, they
We
were.
get back to that.
But also talk
I,
about things in name only. That's the first phase of the DC universe is Gods and Monsters.
oh shit.
So
Yeah.
I don't know where all that's leading to.
It was Hawk Girl, fake Hawk Girl, and opposite Martian Manhunter, whatever they call them.
I was a little disappointed that there's a whole slew of doppelgangers in here that don't get names.
Mm.
I wonder how many are original concepts, and some of them were like villains. Like if you're a villain on Earth 1, aren't you supposed to be a good guy on Earth 3?
Right, but then like
Yeah.
the minions the crime families have locked up were actual villains on like it's
Yeah, I was
Lobo.
like,
Like
hold on a second. I was like, why is Lobo here? Gay
granted,
Lobo, very
grant,
gay Lobo. Look at
granted,
gay here,
I feel like
gayer.
Lobo's one of those like characters where I was just like, I believe you're an asshole everywhere.
No,
Uh,
he's just like a village person.
yeah, right.
It's crazy.
So I found a list of these doppelgangers. I don't know where these names have come from, but this is what they're purported to be. So
Okay.
Angelique is the alter ego of Hawk Girl.
Hmm.
Black Power is the alter ego of Black Lightning.
No. Who did that?
Okay.
Model Citizen is the alter ego of Looker, but I don't know who Looker is.
Mm.
Breakdance is the alter ego of Vibe, which I think that was that. I think I recognized the Vibe guy when I saw him.
I didn't recognize
Oh,
that it
isn't
was
it?
Vibe.
Oh, is that our homie from Flash?
He's like the vest. Yeah, he's wearing like a vest, and he's like the only like '90s look like a breakdancer that talks to
I
the
was
that talks
wondering
to him.
who the fuck
Yeah, right.
that was. Breakdance. Okay.
Sai instead of Katana. Get it?
All right.
Oh, right.
I did.
I see what you did there.
Aurora instead of Halo. Extruded Man instead of Elongated Man. Vamp instead of Vixen. Fortune Teller
Okay.
instead of Gypsy. Captain Super instead of Captain Marvel. Uncle
Mhm.
Super instead of Uncle Marvel.
Yes. Thank you. I knew I was like, God, these are not named like those three fucking dudes, the made men. I was like, that has to be the Marvel family, right? I know they're not saying it, but it's got to be the fucking Marvel family. Thank
Very
you
strange to
for
omit that because they look like Black Adams, and they
that.
never address it. And I'm like,
There's
am I
an
missing
uncle.
something? Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
that
Uncle
family gets
Tony, right?
weird.
What's
That
his
family
name?
that family gets
Uncle
weird.
something.
Yeah, but there was definitely like an old man, Mr. Magoo kind of uncle in that family.
Oh, leave
Um,
Billy
Okay.
alone. Don't touch him.
we got Manhawk instead of Hawkman,
Hmm.
Mr. Horrific. I think
Nice.
you guys can figure out that one. Mary Mayhem instead of Mary Marvel.
Okay.
Mega
I didn't
Morpho.
see her.
No,
What the fuck was Mary Man?
I'm not sure. Mega Morpho instead of Metamorpho.
Okay.
She Bat is a hybrid of Man Bat and Catwoman somehow.
Sure.
War Wolf, which is Lobo. Scream
Oh, come
Queen, which
on.
is Black Canary.
He's a bear here.
Scream Queen.
Ar-
Nice.
Archer obviously was Green Arrow. Olympia is Wonder Girl, and then you just saw alter egos of characters like Power Girl, Doctor Fate, Zatanna, and stuff. But yeah, like I kind of wish they would have fleshed out some of that stuff because some of those designs look really fun. I definitely like Black Power. I like that whole 60s motif thing was really cool. So
Before we move on, this is the scene where they oh no, we didn't get there yet. Because they're fighting all these people.
Oh no, we're about to. Yeah, because the Justice League are in space constructing this satellite base when Earth 3's Luthor's. And again, I might be getting this completely wrong. I'm doing this based off my knowledge that the crime syndicate comes from Earth 3. So when I say things like Earth 3, etc., that's what. Yeah. Because I don't think they don't ever say that in the film.
No, they don't. They don't even call this Earth 1.
No. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because that threw me when they transported there. I was like, wait, what? But the Justice League are in space constructing their satellite base when Earth 3's Luthor arrives on Earth, but he is promptly arrested. Luthor demands an audience with the League, and they comply, thinking he's their version of Luthor. I've seen 500,000 again multiversal things, and like realizing, oh my God, you're from another Earth. I've never seen it posited that if you X-ray somebody, their insides would be reversed and flipped onto another part of the body, and that's how you identify it. He's like, of course.
It's weird. It's weird. The Grant Morrison one is so nasty too, because they have, instead of Lex, I think it's a whole plane from Earth 3 that somehow transports over here, and then they do the autopsy and they find all the bodies all like have their organs reversed. It's like scares the shit out of the
I
doctors
was
or
wondering
whatever.
how that came from, because that's very specific to be like, oh, obviously.
This was a fun way to streamline that.
Well, like open and shut case. Don't you see his organs are reversed, doctor? Okay.
You should know. Should be in your books.
Oh, he's also butt naked to show them he's not a threat. This Luther doesn't give a damn.
Hey, he's like he's the one who made himself naked, and then he goes to stand up, and Superman's like, "Put your pants on." And he looks down, and he's like, "Oh, motherfucker, you're the one who stripped yourself. Why are you surprised your dick is out?"
I assumed it was like a Terminator joke.
Could be a Earth 3 custom. When you have company over,
you have to shake it. We shake each other.
Oh dear, the Dutch runner has returned.
I was thinking of it, but I couldn't remember the name. Now you made it worse.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it had a name. Thanks for that.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna do it right.
Is that from Zach?
Where is that from?
Zach and Miri, I think.
I believe that's where it's from. Yeah.
I don't think I saw that.
Oh, you need to see that. That's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta watch that.
That's a very. Oh my! I'm not.
Zach
now this is in my Google. Now this is in my Google search. I'm not continuing this path. So Lex stresses that there is a dire reason that he needs their help. After they release him from police custody, Luthor explains that his Earth is basically a crime-infested nightmare ruled by the crime syndicate, a team of evil doppelgangers of the League. They systematically destroyed the resistance against them, and this Lex is the only survivor of that resistance. With the police and government powerless, Lex thinks the only thing stopping them is the threat of nuclear war, which is where our Justice League comes in if they wish to help. And I didn't remember this plot point of just constant mutual assured destruction, but it sure is an interesting one to be like,
I was like,
you better calm down or I'll kill us all. That's both of their sides, basically. It's like, if you don't do what we say, I'll kill us all. Well, if you don't do what we say, I'll kill us all.
Well,
So
I'm glad we see eye to eye on this.
Yes. So that's like his
familiar.
That's his 100%. Also, I want to say, because we've already met them. Now, I guess I just didn't remember the first time when I watched this, but now I'm always gonna hear Ultraman as like some kind of 2-bit mobster. It's like, hey,
yeah,
we're taking
I
over.
actually, I really like that. I really like
Baldwin,
that.
right?
We're the crime syndicate. You understand? Here, we're the crime syndicate.
See, we're the crime syndicate. See,
Superwoman, go get the fucking. I don't know. Go get the banana.
It's a banana. Wow.
Let me see. Who you said? Gosh, I was trying to find the voice actor for that.
Adam Baldwin
for Owlman.
Is it out? No, for Ultraman.
Oh, Ultraman. Yeah, that's what I meant. Owlman is James Woods.
Yeah.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
How did they find? They were trying to look for someone who could play a cold, unfeeling member of an evil.
That's always got me like, where did they find James Woods?
They grabbed them James Woods.
How did they pitch this to him?
James Woods.
Yeah,
he was feeling particularly nihilistic one Wednesday, and he got a call from an agent, and they explained it to him, and he was like, "This is exactly mine. I need to get an outlet."
They say it's Brian Bloom.
Who the fuck is that?
He is the voice of Cap on Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Whoa, I like him.
Yeah. who the fuck is that? Oh yeah,
John changed on him so quickly.
He's a friend of mine.
That guy. He's a good
egg. He returns. Oh wow, he was in Green Lantern, Beware My Power, and Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3 as Adam Strange both times.
Sorry.
Strange stuff. Adam Strange stuff.
That's a lot of leg you're showing there.
And he played in he played Hyperion.
Get it kicked off the air.
Okay, right? That's for the Patreon. He played Hyperion in Avengers Assemble as well.
I didn't know Hyperion shows up on that show. I have a hatred, a bias against it. I refuse to watch it.
There's a lot of people who show up on that show for like an episode or two.
Yeah, fuck that.
Because at the end of the day, the show is about the main Avengers team.
Oh, they need an Avengers Unlimited. There you go. While the heroes debate whether to intervene, Luthor discreetly stashes the quantum trigger on the watchtower, which is pretty funny.
Just put it down.
Because he's like, yeah, I'll just hide this here. After a lengthy discussion amongst themselves, the League agrees to help, although Batman is hesitant.
He said, we got our own problems. What the fuck?
That felt very America. That felt very America. That felt very like, we got homeless vets on the streets.
But
what are we doing helping other people?
He's like, but it's billions of dollars on this fucking satellite. Superman was building this. Where's he going?
Yeah, right.
Because when you come back to him, that's what he's doing. He's in the robot putting this shit up himself. These motherfuckers left me here to build the satellite by myself.
It's also
I don't think he cared.
Looking robot. It looks like it's from Aliens.
I don't think he cared about the Earth. I think he was mostly bothered that this is interrupting the satellite. He's like, this is. He's like, we're not.
I took the week off for this.
You never get a project done around here.
Yeah, I took the week off for this. It's always multiverse this, Thanagar that. I'm tired of this.
Lex, let me ask you a question. How long has your planet been like that? Can it wait a day, 2 days? I think it doesn't get this done.
It doesn't help that I know who. I'm very familiar with the guy who is voicing Superman, which is the constantly annoyed Mark Harmon from NCIS.
Yes. He is pretty smooth in this, though.
I thought his Superman was okay. It sounded like he was trying. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah,
I don't know how to put that in words.
I can get that. But yeah, Batman's all like,
My
you know
girlfriend
how
watches copious amounts of NCIS, so all I can see is that guy.
it's just burned in your head. Yeah, so Bat's like, you know how long it takes contractors to get up here? I'm not leaving. I have an appointment. The electricity's coming at 5. So I'm sticking by. Yeah, guys can go. And they all like unanimous about like, oh come on, guys, you know that's what we're gonna end up doing. And he's all like, no. So
But the
then
problem is, all the contractors have like seen that scene from Clerks about the contractors on the Death Star, and
that's
they're
what I'm
like,
saying. Yeah.
now it's happening.
Yeah, that's when Batman pulls it. Why you think he had the anesthetic gas on him? That wasn't because of what he was going with. That was for the contractors who showed up.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been hired.
Yeah, good work. What's that? Don't worry about it. So yeah, they figure out that the members of the syndicate end up figuring out that Luthor is traveling to parallel Earths and may have just escaped to one. This is confirmed. Like they're literally having the conversation about it, and then Luthor and the entire Justice League show up, like right there. And I'm like, oh, open and shut case. Another movie would have taken another 20 minutes to resolve that, but they just show up.
He was like, wait till you see my bedroom. I have nice posters. Oh yeah. Fuck.
And then they just show up. The confrontation is lengthy as our crew takes down these DC doppelgangers, but they get it done. As they escape, Owlman tries to shoot him out of the sky, and the cavalry arrive in the form of other devious doppelgangers, hoping to take our league down. To fight another
doppelgangers.
Yeah, man.
It was the Marvel family.
to fight another day, our team escapes with an invisible jet. How and why is this the first mention of an invisible jet in this thing? Because she keeps it at the end of it.
I think
and
DC's kind of embarrassed of it.
But because it would have been, because if it was still a bridge movie, right? She never had the fucking jet. She could fly.
I guess I never placed that she never had the jet in the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big, I guess,
there's some remnants. There's like some remnants in there, that story that didn't change. The satellite getting built in the beginning, the mention of her with the jet and flying. Like flying was a cartoon exclusive thing.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So before then, she just lassoed lightning, right?
That bitch was right. Oh hell no! Galera, no.
It's just one of those things where people are just always just like, okay, wait, so can she fly or not? And people are just like, oh,
lightning. She can web sling.
I will ride the lightning.
Stop doing your bad Israeli accent.
That's not an Israeli accent, okay?
That's just Gal acting.
Don't set me up here, Greg. This is a very hot topic right now. I am not making an Israeli accent.
Right.
That is a Gal control.
I mean, Owlman. You know what? We'll continue. So. The syndicate argues over what to do next. I remember what you said, James Woods. And Owlman, who makes Batman look like an optimist, has his own plans.
Hey, buddy, come on now.
Hey.
Well, I was going to ask before we move on, why is the Martian Manhunter so aggressive? Yeah, they were whooping ass. They were whooping these fucking crime syndicate guys' asses, and they had to escape. And he's like, "Why? We're winning."
Oh, my favorite part is shortly after when we'll get to it, but basically when Superman's like, "Your league sucked." Like what? Like our league came with so much anger and aura. Anything? Yeah, our league came with so much anger and aura. And like you said, Martian Manhunter's just like on site. It's like it is what it is.
At least Superman has at least they can play that off as like he's got to work with Lex, and he was very annoyed this whole time. But it's completely unspoken, and you got to infer that for yourself, because otherwise he is just mad aggressive. Like, why is Superman being this way? Like, he's so rude.
You do get like I think they accomplished something, because as I'm watching this and I'm watching like Luthor battle Ultraman, I'm thinking to myself, what a different dichotomy, right? Like Luthor, this regular man, he can try his best to cobble together all his intelligence and technology to make himself, all they have to do for a fraction of my power kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he's still getting slapped around by Ultraman ultimately at the end of the day, and how terrifying that must be, and why they have such a stranglehold over the world. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's the whole point of this. Is just to turn it on its head and being like,
don't let the main Lex see that shit.
Yeah.
It would fucking confirm all his fears.
That's it. So Owlman confesses that he's built a
I was gonna say, I also imagine it having like a Superman or an Ultraman or whatever is like the weapon you don't ever have to fire.
Yeah. I guess that's the hope at the end of the day. So Owlman confesses that he's built a doomsday device called the Quantum Ingenstate device, and they could leverage its destructive power to have complete power over their Earth. Again, just like they were told that if they took over Earth would blow up a nuclear bomb and kill them. That's why they haven't taken over Earth by might, the syndicate. So now they have their own bomb, so they can say, hey, we're still planning to take over by might, and if you threaten us with your bomb, we'll just blow up our bomb. I think that's the plan.
I think that's the plan.
That's the plan. And that's
very
a very mobster
unrealistic
plan, but it's also very mobster plan. Like, hey, I got a bomb here and got a bomb there.
Very unrealistic. I can't imagine that ever working in real life. Like, come on. Why would people ever have bombs that could destroy the whole world?
And then think about it. If they both have one, then one might end up getting two. And then the other person gets two. And then someone again three. And then
that doesn't make any sense.
Without any of these weapons ever being hot, they could enter some kind of like war that's like not hot. Where they just amass these weapons.
And shockingly, despite how dangerous and extreme these weapons are, occasionally you lose one.
Yeah, occasionally you're just like,
what? Oh shit! I had it here.
It was right here.
God,
does this pile look different to you today?
I also love the idea that because of who's in that conversation, it's just like, we'll blow up all bombs. Like, well, we'll blow up all bombs, and freaking Deathstroke's just like, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. President Deathstroke.
Yeah, because we then meet Earth 3's Rose Wilson, who holds a press conference telling people not to fear the syndicate. They don't name her in this. They don't like in that moment. They just, this is a woman there.
Yeah, she's just a person.
She's like, my dad's the president or whatever, and then it cuts. And so I have to go back and annotate that that was Rose Wilson.
Is she supposed to be the character that Summer Glau plays?
Yes.
Ravager.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
So she's just telling people not to fear the syndicate, just to show you that there is some resistance boiling over, even though the government and everyone else seems to be a little bit spineless. Luther takes the to the Jester's hideout, and we meet probably the most disrespectful doppelganger, Harley the monkey.
Sorry, Harley. Jester's not coming back.
He's never coming back.
Oh my God! Why do you say? Who's gonna feed the fucking monkey?
I was like that whole scene was written. Someone was like, it should be a monkey. They should call it Harley, and then they should break its heart right there in front of everyone.
I like how none of the league even blinked.
No,
they don't know shit.
I'm surprised. Oh God, Batman wasn't there. I was gonna say Batman would have totally been triggered by Jester's hideout. I feel like he would have flipped the fuck out, but he was home.
I also thought it was
cable guys to show up.
I also just was amused by the idea that yes, Harley's a monkey. This is the only time in this situation where Harley gets introduced and she does not take over the entire program.
That's the reason why they did it.
Leave her as a monkey. Smart.
Next time we'll see her as Yo-Yo, right? As a Yo-Yo. And
that is. I think that no. What is the next movie? Doom.
I want to say it's Doom. That makes a lot of sense.
So you can't do it as a yo-yo because then you end up with a situation where like the yo-yo character just kind of becomes the pet that the one character just keeps using. So
Yeah,
like you can still have Harley in every scene if you wanted to.
yeah. So they would end up
It's
writing that backwards.
you know what it is? It's Janine Garofalo talking to the bowling ball.
And gosh,
Mystery
Mystery
Man.
Men, Mystery Men. Yeah. Yeah. Doom is after this. This is in 2012. Took two whole years, but
I
we eventually
miss
Uh,
get
I
around to it.
is
miss
that the
this
one with
era.
is that the one with Batman's plans being used?
Yeah, Tower of
Yeah,
Babel.
Okay.
they they didn't always hit them on the head, but they would just be like, "Here's 75 minutes. Go pick a book off the shelf.
Just do it.
Like
Just do it.
get one done." I'm like, okay, these are fun.
I actually I don't think I've ever seen all of Doom.
It's pretty
No, what the
good.
fuck?
Because
They added
instead
Cyborg
of
randomly.
Race is Vandal Savage, correct?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
I
he
remember that
sucks.
being the bigger change. It was like, oh, it's fucking the caveman. But
Mhm. The
uh,
bad.
yeah, this is my part. So like, Luther takes him to the hideout, brings up the big computer, breaks down the syndicate and their a bunch of like criminal accomplices, the made men, etc.
Mhm.
Explains all that kind of stuff, and he's like, guys, with your help, I think we can all together go one by one to the syndicate strongholds and destroy them. And Superman's like, why don't we just split up and just destroy all their shit in one go? And Lex is like, are you kidding me? My league couldn't do that. And he's like, well, we're not your fucking league, bro. Like, watch this. And then they do. They split up and they destroy everything simultaneously. And
This
I,
is like the most respectful way you could say like your right hand man was the Joker.
yeah. And but
Your league
also
is dead.
is
Back off.
usually the trope is that our guys are too headstrong and don't understand that this is a different Earth with different rules and that they're outmatched. No, the Bruce Timm verse is the or if you continue from that Justice League thing, like they're OP. They just show up on another Earth, beat the shit out of everybody, and win. Though they
I
like
like
the biggest nihilist is the only reason why they have any sort of the fight gets elongated any kind of way.
In one
they
of them,
don't
there's a
need
scene where the Flash just cradles Arrow like a baby and just like water
Yeah.
and goes
they
back to the
don't
fight.
need anything. They don't need anything explained to them. This Justice League comes in and they know what the fuck is up. They're
Yeah.
here. We're here. It's another Earth. Yeah, I've been there, done that. Let's just get this shit over with. Like we got to get back to sandwiches.
Yeah.
Like what are we doing?
The cable guy was coming between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. we gotta get back, man. But I don't know why that made me laugh.
Watching Injustice, going, remember when this used to be simple?
Yeah, right. I don't know why that made me laugh. I guess because I've never seen Superman be cocky, like kind of like, bro, are you kidding me? You telling me we all need to go to each one? Are you kidding? Like we're so OP, we'll just send like 3 people to each place, and they'll be over in like a couple minutes.
Look, I need to get back to my project. I don't want to be here today.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what's kind of weird too? There was never any like emphasis on like that's you. Like those people are you.
Yeah.
Like Lex never really said like, and when we get to my Earth, it'll be you that you're fighting. Like some idea that these people are just as strong as you. Like that never crossed his brain. Like who did he think he was fucking talking to the whole time? Did Lex Luthor not know?
Well, had Superman already done the Bizarro thing in TAS?
Well, Superman would have known. I bet the way this Justice League act, they just kind of knew everything that was going on. They didn't need this shit explained to me. Like I know that's me. I'll beat the shit out of him right now. But Lex, but you would think you would think Lex, because he came over and he had to explain all these things. Like he never was like, and then when we get there, you're gonna be fighting yourself, so be ready. That seems like a really big detail. Not
it's interesting that you put it that way, because even when he says it, he doesn't say like you guys are a good version of the Syndicate. He says the Syndicate are an evil version of you guys. Which from his perspective would have been the other way around, right? It would have been like,
yeah,
I've only ever lived with the Syndicate. You guys seem to be some kind of weird good version of them. But it feels like he lives in a world where they're all good Justice Leagues, and this just happens to be an evil version. The only the closest thing you get to what you're talking about, John, is when Batman and Owlman are talking about the differences between each other. But there's never really any conversation of like what makes each person different from the other. And I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to see the that twisted like barbed wire lasso of truth that Superwoman has. The gnarly fucking lasso of truth. You ever seen that thing?
No,
Absolutely.
that sounds awful.
She did it to Nightwing. She had Nightwing roped up at one point and unmasked him, but it's just like a rope of barbed wire.
It's where he dies, right? Like he almost dies, like he fake dies.
Yeah. Pretty metal stuff. But this team splits up. And they take down several of the strongholds. They even manage to take Ultraman into custody after an altercation. But they are immediately ordered to see the president. President Slade Wilson basically says, look, we cut deals with the bad guys because his dad are total annihilation. He orders the release of Ultraman and the League complies. And I'm like, he is a criminal. And I'm like, well, he just pardoned fucking Ultraman, so I guess it is what it is, right? Yeah, President Stroke. Mr. D Stroke. Gotta wonder what kind of world elects Slade Wilson to be president.
Well, I think on Earth 3, on Earth 3, he was a war hero instead of
that makes sense.
Interesting.
Instead of an assassin. Yeah, you get it when they have mind sex.
Oh, and his wife is a cougar in this one. Is what you're trying to tell me.
Oh dear.
She's 20 years his senior.
Yeah, evil Deathstroke.
Yes. Good Deathstrokes into more seasoned women.
Yes.
What's her name? Tara. Fuck.
Who recently returned to the comics, apparently.
Yeah, I saw that as well. That's one of those.
I didn't see that.
Someone was like, and this kind of reminds me of what they say about Spidey too sometimes. But there was like, Teen Titans has 3 stories. Like they just keep going back to the well. Like Tara's been back like 2 or 3. She was on that Deathstroke Inc. at one point. Yeah. She's been back before. I don't know.
They keep going back and forth on. Okay.
Yeah, they keep bringing Tara back to traumatize people. Also, I can't remember from comics and stuff like that, but was Owlman and Superwoman always a thing, or is that just a reflection of Batman and Diana kind of being a thing in the Justice League cartoon?
That's a weird thing too, because that's fucking Lois. Like, why is he?
Oh, is Superwoman Lois
doing this?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like, why is he doing this? That's why when Lois on Earth 1 but gets superpowers, she's also Superwoman. It's a cool thing.
That makes sense.
But,
the only Superwoman I know is Lana.
It was like that. In Forever Evil, she's pregnant with his baby, right? With Owlman's baby.
Oh wow, is she? Do they
I
live
can't
past
remember
that?
what. Maybe it might be. Yeah. Because she was pregnant. She was in jail, like pregnant.
Yes.
What happened to that baby?
The government took it.
Government dead. I know that Earth 3 ends up getting destroyed by that shitty ass, fake ass New 52 anti-monitor.
It says she tells Owl, Ultraman, and Lex Luthor that they are the father. In that story?
Is that Forever Evil?
Yeah.
No fucking Jesus.
It says Superwoman is also Earth 3's Lois Lane. On Crisis on Infinite Earths, Earth 3 Lois is married to Alexander Luthor, the only superhero of that world. When their world is destroyed by the Anti-Monitor, they send their child, Alexander Luthor Jr., to another Earth to save him in a manner reminiscent of the way Jor-El, yada yada.
Moses.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying that Alexander Luthor is the father if it's historically. And like in the comic, like in the OG comics, then in Forever Evil, Alexander Luthor would have been the father. But yeah, I was wondering where this relationship comes from.
Yeah, that's that weird. Like, yeah, I keep saying it because like at the end of the comic, he does that weird Madmish thing because it's Shazam backwards.
Gosh, those parodies are always fucking strange. Yeah, it sounds like something like a Pokemon.
Madmish, go.
He's depressed. He just comes out depressed. Madmish.
Is he smoking a cigarette?
You just see on the bottom, it just translates "kill me, kill me, kill me."
What are those marks on his arm?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's a weird way to do tally marks. But
Oh my god.
Aquaman reveals to his plans to his girlfriend Superwoman, and his plan, well, is total multiversal annihilation. Why?
Yo,
Because he's
wait,
convinced. He's
you have
convinced.
to talk about that for a second. Like
Sure.
that explanation of
Is that not good enough?
Yeah, he
that was
says,
that was great.
yeah, he basically says because nothing anyone does actually matters, so he might as well hit the cosmic reset button by using the QED to destroy Earth Prime and every other Earth made in its image. Yeah, he just has like a really nihilistic view on. Like he's like, we've every possible choice has been made. Choices that we're making now, choices that we made in the past, and choices that we'll make in the future, all on these different Earths. That's why they exist. The only choice that really matters is the choice to end it all.
He said,
That's pretty fun.
said, bitch, we are cartoon characters. The only thing that matters is killing the person watching right
Yeah,
now.
every single one.
I will
And
find
What
you
did that mean?
and kill you. He said, I'm gonna find Earth Prime. I was like, oh,
this is
hold on a second, motherfucker.
yeah, this like turns her on. She's all about this. She's like, yeah, I know it will kill me and everyone that we care about, but I'm
I've
down.
never been more wet.
Let's get down right now.
He's
So
like, dick doesn't
God.
my dick doesn't work.
don't
I
you
haven't
know
been
that?
hard since
That's
I
what started all this.
discovered. He
That's what,
discovered the multiverse and never got hard again.
that's what started all this. When that guy in Crime Alley shot my penis in front of my parents.
In front of my parents.
That's it. Wouldn't that make you a villain, a super villain? That's a super villain origin story right there.
That's what happened in Darth Maul.
There you go. So he's managed to construct a universe-hopping gun like Luther's and knows where the quantum trigger, the item needed to set off the QED, is, and it's on
As
Earth
one does.
Prime. No, it's not on Earth Prime. It's on Earth where the Justice League is, or from. Using the teleporter using the teleporter. Superwoman and her goons, the Shazam family, show up at the Watchtower, but they have to take on Batman, who calls for some unlimited style backup, which is pretty fun. I thought that was pretty cool to see. Like,
yeah, I did too.
Black Canary and Red Tornado, and isn't that his? Is it Justice League International crew?
It kind of, yeah, because I was gonna say Outsiders, but that's Metamorpho and Black Lightning and Katana.
Yeah, this is the other.
This is her sword.
This is Psy.
It might be the Justice League. It might be his other Justice League. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun to see them too. Firestorm 2, not 1. I guess not Ronnie. It would have been Jason.
Rush.
What is with that? Actually, is that the same actor?
I don't know, but what's interesting is like,
I don't think he had lines.
Is he like what? I guess I'm interested in knowing. Like, Batman seems to be super cool with these people, where he could call them on command, but they haven't been granted, rank Justice League
Bruce, he don't give a fuck, man. What he had that shit set up. This is my crew. I call them up whenever you guys
my backup Justice
around.
League.
We watch movies in the tower together.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't Aquaman be on the team already?
I don't know. I remember looking at him in this and going, "Dang, they really didn't know what to do with you at this time, player." Like, they were going
2010.
a lot of shit, man.
It's 2010 because first they used Jason instead of Ronnie, and because of fucking Aquaman. Aquaman's weird ass design that they completely nerfed him from the Peter David stuff that Bruce Timm was using.
Because no more hook hand, no more long hair and beard.
That reminds me, where's my fucking Aquaman?
George,
statue?
what is with Karen Fukuhara and taking these non-speaking roles?
She was in.
I just like to stand here.
Katana?
It's
yeah.
It's
I'm saying like was
the
she in it?
it's
Was she her in this?
No, but she's the girl
Oh,
in the
okay.
boys. So
Oh yeah,
who
yeah,
is
yeah.
which is also a non-speaking role.
Yes.
wait,
Hey
she
man.
is in here?
No, no, no.
Oh, in the boys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would have been hilarious if she was in here as a non-speaking role.
That would be.
It's always weird. It's always weird. It's always there's always like one big celebrity in these things. Like I remember being surprised to see like Rosario Dawson as Wonder Woman. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
And
What?
for her to do it multiple times.
Oh, Shamik Moore is Cyborg. What is he even doing here?
They just did that.
What?
Rainn Wilson from The Office was Lex Luthor for those.
Exactly.
I feel like Gina Torres is like the biggest one in this.
I wouldn't be
She's bigger than
surprised.
James Woods
Maybe.
James Woods.
at that time, I guess.
Probably.
James Woods.
He's candy.
Yeah, Mark Harmon, I guess, is also pretty big, but I don't think anyone's creaming their shorts for Mark Harmon on the credits.
Mark Harmon
Somebody is.
is
I'm not
tired.
saying no one is. I'm just saying
tired
I don't
as
think anybody is.
Superman. Get
Yeah.
out of the way, Lex. Get the
Welcome
fuck
back
out the way.
I'll go back to my crafting.
You ever give me an order again, I'll squish your fucking toes. Superman.
After a long scuffle, though, on the Watchtower, Superwoman wins and steals the quantum trigger before teleporting all of them, including Batman, back to Earth 3.
She was gonna fuck him right there and then.
Yeah, because they're like, what are you
She
going to do
really
with him?
likes-
She was like, I'll find something to do. And she keeps like flirting with him while beating the shit out of him. At one point, literally says, that's going to cost you a rib, and manually breaks the rib by hand. Like, grabs
Yeah.
the rib in the cage
Bruce.
and snaps it. And I was like, what kind of...
If you don't get on your knees right now,
I can't tell if he
Yeah.
likes this or not. Please stop a little harder. Please. Whatever you
That was
do.
the other thing. That was the other thing about knowing, like, really knowing that voice. I was like, Gina Torres is putting on this hot voice so obnoxiously.
I'm telling you,
I'm
man.
gonna fucking eat you, little
Be
bat.
sassy. But I love that, like, she beats the hell out of him. Like, he is not
Yeah.
anywhere in her league. And then when he throws the smoke bomb, I'm like, this is kind of pathetic, Bats. Like, that's all you got.
It's
And
kind
then
of the only time that, like, one of the crime syndicate is, like, clearly superior.
yeah, and you know, I'm also reminded of the first JLA story with the
Okay.
White Martians, because that whole Justice League is like captured or, you know, kind of taken out of the fight, and Batman's the only one, and he has to like take them all down by himself, and it's like a measure of like how badass he is. So like
Right.
I'm thinking like that's how this is gonna be. Like Batman's gonna come through the back door and help out the Justice League. She just beats the shit out of him. Then he throws a smoke bomb, and the smoke dissipates, and he's still there. And I'm like, wait, what is the gambit here? What is he trying to do?
sucks.
Because she's like,
She smoked that shit.
yeah, and then she smoked it. And then when he was like, that's not gas or whatever, or that's not smoke, my mind went through like the 700 terrible things he could have just put in her body. I'm just like, this is fucking, but it's anesthetic gas. And yeah, she passes out, and he's very smugly proud of what just happened because he was just getting his ass whooped.
Justice League. But he walked over to her, stood over her head, and said, "Justice League, come in."
Yeah, yep. Made it a little hot there, Bats.
I want you to know.
Yeah, I'm the one.
Who beat you?
I'm the one who beat you.
That's good. I'm gonna write that down. I may need that later.
I also like this part, and it's a couple of minutes, but it's just Ultraman going to the president and threatening him. Like,
Yeah.
Slapped the fucking teeth out his mouth.
He's smacked in the face, smacks him bloody, threatens him with nuclear retaliation if he tries to prevent their hostile takeover of the country, and then also hints at the fact that he may have killed Slade's wife when things went south in the past. Meanwhile, Martian Manhunter starts catching feelings for Wilson's daughter Rose, and after saving her from an assassination attempt, they mind meld on the first date. That's pretty fast,
On
man.
the first date. She's so fast.
That's a slut. And I'm referring
She
to
was-
Martian Manhunter.
Jesus Christ. She was into that green shit immediately. She was like,
She was.
and then
You couldn't even
I
meet
look-
it, bro. He literally said, This is how we do it on Mars. And I was
What?
like, oh, we about to go
What?
down. It's about to go
They're funny
down.
as fuck. Why did they give him those lips then?
Yeah, right.
Why if he wasn't gonna use them? Because they drew him mad sexy.
Yeah, they
I
did.
was like, what
They're
the
for
fuck?
whistling, John.
No
like,
wonder she's following.
She's like, I'm gonna kiss you.
She's
It's
like,
an
get
affection
that.
thing on there. He like, get that out of here. Let me show how we do it. You just want to
He
slap
spread his
mouths
shit.
together. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to slap mouths together? I'm gonna bust your mind wide open, girl. How about that? How about
He
that?
said this is jiggling.
Yeah, your mind jiggling.
It was
mind
just a
wet.
big ass
Shit is inefficient.
exposition dump too. Like they used the sex scene to dump exposition on it.
Yeah.
This is what you do when you're having time constraints.
Yeah. It's like, oh, don't you always, when you're in love with somebody, share your trauma with one another in a mind dump?
That's honestly how we should do most exposition dumps during the sex scene. Like they're just fucking, and you just put like flash scenes on the cheeks. You can make this real interesting.
It's the way to keep the audience
All I can
interested.
think of now is like the exposition scene of Ryan Reynolds explaining who Dracula is, what Dracula's just fucking supposed.
Yeah. See, more movies would be better with that level of exposition.
He was born perfect.
And then she's like, oh yeah, by the way, I do know where the syndicate is. It's on the moon. Their headquarters is on the moon. The League and Lex arrive just as Owlman is arming the bomb, and after Johnny Quick saves Superwoman, both sides do battle as each member takes on their multiversal counterpart. This is where that conversation would have happened with, you're just like me, but you're not, kind of. But they just don't. They just throw hands. There's very little said. They just try to murder each other on sight.
This actually reminds me of earlier in the movie. Early in the movie, they do the bit where he's building the Zeta tube for the first time, and he teleports Barry without asking him, and Barry's like, "What the fuck?"
Right,
and Bruce walks over and takes the pretzel from him, and he eats his pretzel and just walks off with the pretzel. And I realized, like, I know he eats, but I don't think we see him eat very often. Because I was like, Batman's eating.
Right. not in suit, right? I always think of like when Alfred gives him cold soup in the movies.
All those like pickle sandwiches.
Down. Yeah, some kind of weird esoteric rich cucumber sandwich, whatever.
I thought of this scene because it comes back around right now where we're about to get to where Barry's like, I don't think he fucking likes me. Like, why would he do that? And Martian Manhunter literally tells him like he would never do that if he didn't know it wouldn't work. Right. And now they proved that later on in the movie. So I thought that was a cool little.
Because again, like you're being led to believe, and I guess that's also what Owlman serves as, right? Is like whatever sort of generalizations you would make about the Batman character, him being like a loner and him being cold and calculating and not caring about anybody else. We're shown how the extremes of that exist in Owlman, but maybe we should be a bit more charitable to our Batman because he wouldn't just straight up kill Barry to test but
he's gonna kill you. But he's gonna kill these dudes.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't give a fuck about.
And at first I didn't get it because I didn't remember that part. It's like, oh no, you can't. You're a pussy or whatever. And I'm like, wait, what's going on?
I want to quickly note that Rose Wilson is played by an actor credited as Freddie Rogers, who is the only actor on this IMDb list who does not have a photo.
And Freddie with an I.
And only has one other credit, which is playing Firestorm in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Firestar, excuse me.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you're right.
What?
You're right.
What celebrity is this? That's
two IMDb credits. 2 IMDb credits. Rose Wilson and Firestar.
Yes.
No face. No face.
I've seen pictures, but also there's those two projects are a year apart.
Yeah.
So happened in the same recording session. It's actually Mary Kate fucking
Jennifer Rogers, yes. This is probably true because I think recently the woman who voiced Ariel from The Little Mermaid came out that she played this character from Metal Gear Solid 3, but it was a sexy character, so she couldn't go by her real
Oh
name.
Oh
wow, that's
shit!
funny.
You see, but it happens all the time. I think of fucking this dude in that played Piccolo in the Dragon Ball Evolution movie that comes back and does Zamasu many years later as an apology under a pen name for
Oh,
free.
James
Uh,
Marsden, yeah.
yeah, Marston,
Interesting.
is that
Marsden.
Cyclops?
It's something Marsden or something
I
close to
think it's
that name.
possibly another
It's the dude from Angel.
Marsters.
Spike
James
Marsters.
Marsters.
There you go.
It's like
These
Masters
fucking
with an R, right?
Mar-
Masters.
What you think you were unique? You think you were special? But you put an R?
You
No, it's
think you're special?
Check
You
out, check out, check out, check out my melody. So uh Lex tries to deprogram the QED, but it's too late as Owlman uses the teleporter to take the multiverse doomsday device to Earth Prime. To stop him, Luther suggests sending a speedster to match the QED's frequency and open a portal. Batman is like, Flash like volunteers, and Batman's like, no, because you suck and you're not that fast. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, where did that come from, bro? Like, we were just doing this whole mission, and Johnny Quick's like, oh, do it. That means they're threatening Earth. And so he steps up. So Johnny Quick, matches the frequency, creates the portal. Batman tracks down Owlman to Earth Prime, and Owlman gives him a very pessimistic speech, a nihilistic speech about society, and why it's necessary to not only kill everyone who ever lived, but who will ever live. And I was like,
he took
fucking dark.
He took it to a crazy place, but when I I wouldn't kill everybody. I just understand what he's saying.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think we've all gotten to that point before where you see behind the curtain of life and you realize how much meaning you have to give it because there may not be that much actually there.
Intelligence is a curse. If you know too much, you just end up being sad about it. That's all. That's what
100%,
happens.
Yeah, 100%. And I wondered, like, this would have possibly been a better sequel to Doom than a prequel to Doom, because Doom is kind of sets up Batman as an Owlman type person who has contingency plans on deck and ready. Like, think of your friends, kind of shit. Like, you figured he would have learned a lesson from something like this. Right? I'm like, but to each his own, because Batman is naturally not down with multiversal destruction, so he engages him in a brutal one-on-one brawl, and in the end, Batman outsmarts him before delivering a cold ass line. What was it? The difference between you and me is we both stared at the abyss.
Said abyss and you blinked.
You blinked.
And then killed his ass.
Yeah, like
there's no fucking question.
Yeah.
Or
sentence him to death.
And
he just didn't have to save him.
This was my favorite part of the entire fucking movie, where Owlman turns around and he looks at the bomb and he realizes his plan went to shit and he just goes, nothing matters.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I was like, God, that was so good. He was so true to himself all the way to the last moment. Like, there was no cracking. Oh no! Oh my God! He's just like,
yeah, because this would, the common cop out would be make him cowardly in this moment, right? To be
he's like,
man, this was gonna happen. There's a plan for this anyway. I literally cleared my calendar yesterday. Like this, there's nothing. I got nothing coming up. This is okay to me.
I wish it would have been a post-disaster Earth. I really wish they would have been in like DC Comics office in Manhattan having this fucking fight on the roof.
Yeah.
Like, God, that would have been so good. I wanted to feel threatened. You didn't take it all the way.
Interesting.
Real background too. Just completely out of the fucking out of the film. This is a 3D world and two cartoon characters are fighting on the roof.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit style?
Exactly. This is 2010.
What did you think of this like alternative alternative Earth Prime. Because I was always
Yeah,
of the belief that the Earth Prime was like the main whatever book or
he
show that
said,
this was on, but he was like, yeah, this one got destroyed.
yeah, he said it got pushed off of orbit because of man. Uh, so that's just death. But it's the Earth that all the other Earths vibrate off of. And I was like, oh, I took that as Earth 33. As us.
It's not weird to have a seemingly dead Earth, be the progenitor of all the other
It
Earths.
doesn't
I
make
thought it
any
was the whole
sense at
idea
all,
of like the
actually.
Superman, the main one. Because I think back of like the whole. I mean, obviously this was written 15 years after this film or whatever, but like the whole like Superman, everything's a spin off from him. Like, he is the one. I've always thought that all the other Earths were kind of a mirror of Earth One, but this Prime Earth was something interesting I didn't think about. So the whole time they talk about Prime Earth, I'm confusing it with the Justice League that we're following's Earth
Right.
until this
I don't
moment happens, and then I go, oh, okay. There's
you
just
know
an Earth
what? Now
Prime.
that I'm thinking, not calling it Earth 1 and Earth 3 makes sense. Because they're not, right? It's just they're
It's
just
it's all
not.
it's all what's it called? Perspective.
Yeah, they're first of all, they would have had to name themselves, I
Because you're
guess,
not
like
calling
like
me
the other
Earth
ones did.
3. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Like
But
if I show up, my Earth is Earth 1. You ain't calling my Earth 3 because you feel like calling it Earth 3. You know what I'm saying? Like who gets to pick and choose over here? Like, oh,
Hmm.
you're
I guess
Earth
if they
2.
all exist, I guess if they all exist in the same multiverse, then there already is an Earth 1 and Earth 3. The
I
real
guess.
ones are out there.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
already out there. You guys are fucking Earth 6 billion and 3 because you just one movie that will never be followed up on.
How
Like,
the hubris of calling yourself Earth 1. The hubris
yeah.
of being like, oh yeah, we're number 1. We're number
I like
1.
I always like that. That was like a thing, even in the beginning. Like they mentioned that. That's written. Jay Garrett is like, I guess I'll be Earth too because you guys
If you guys are gonna be that
are.
way about it,
It's just gonna be that way. We're older and
we'll do
better.
our
We don't
own.
have to
We'll do
do.
our own Earth with blackjack and hookers. um, so back on the Syndicate's Earth, Johnny Quick, having pushed himself way past his limits, dies. So like he dies, and then I'm like, oh shit, like that's. I guess that's a bit of a like a tragic, like the villain helping
Hmm.
out the hero.
Batman
Like he's
smoked
dead.
two of the crime syndicate.
Yeah,
Nobody else came to this
you're
Earth and
right.
killed and took care of business. Batman took care of two of
And beat up a third.
them.
He knocked out
And beat up
Superwoman.
the
If it was,
third.
if it wasn't for, if it wasn't for them freeing
Holy
Superwoman.
shit! He really ran through this fucking team, and
Yeah,
he didn't even want to come.
that's
He
the
Yeah.
worst
didn't want
part.
to be here.
That's the worst part. He had to come in and
I'm
clean up
not
their
even
fucking
supposed to
mess.
be here today.
Um,
Just clean this up.
but yeah, like you think it's just that, like, and it could just be that. It could just be a villain sacrificing himself for heroes, and then they have to reveal that Batman knew the whole time. It's like
Sorry.
I don't feel like it's
My
something
bad.
like that. Like, how do I say this? I don't think that was a reveal that was necessary. Yet it makes things so much better. Like, because it could have just been
I
like, oh, fuck, like I knew it would take a lot of power, but damn. But he was like, oh no, I totally knew that was gonna.
You know why? You know why I think it works? Because it shows Batman's manipulative nature.
Yeah,
Batman is probably the most manipulative motherfucker in fiction.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's him and Professor X. They
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
but
He like
he
basically
that
insults his friend to save his life.
Yeah.
yeah. I like it. As he's not I mean that's who he is too. Bruce doesn't just hand out compliments either. That's kind of that he meant it. You ain't fast
You
enough
never
for
say
this.
anything nice about me, Bruce. Yeah, remember that one time I didn't let you die? Was that not good enough, Barry? So yeah, it's revealed that that Batman knew this would kill any speedster that attempted it, and he spared Barry from death by suggesting he wasn't fast enough. With their biggest threats gone, the Syndicate gets locked up, and President Wilson starts reclaiming control of Earth, or at least America. John and Rose share a bittersweet goodbye. At one point, Lois is like, "You should just stay," and I'm like, "Yo, relax. That's my man. Like, you
Diana.
should just be like, the fuck."
You know what? You know what's crazy? I thought she made sense too. He was like, I can't stay with you. And she's like, Why won't you stay? And he's like, bitch, don't you see me coming up with excuses?
Yeah. Like I'm
this
talking
was
to. Yeah.
I
this
made a
was meant to be
promise.
a one meld and run type deal. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
want us to keep melding?
That's hilarious. He's like, and I don't think my cell phone works on the other. He's like, oh, wait, you can do that you can do all that online now. You don't even have to worry about. Oh, shut up, Diana. Damn it. Damn you. Um, yeah, he's like, yeah, I just, I lost one Earth. I'm not gonna lose another. And again, like, as equally down with him asking him to stay, they're as equally down with him not staying. They're like, okay,
She's like, all right, man.
fine,
I get
fine,
the message. Okay, you don't want to stay. Fine, I'm out of
fine.
here.
But I also like that they give him a moment of levity, right? Because he says, she's like, well, push comes to shove. Hopefully, there's a version of her on our Earth, and then he goes, yeah, but knowing my life, she'll probably be evil, and she is. Rose Wilson on that Earth
She's
is evil.
fucking
so,
Ravager. That
so
next battle between the fucking Justice League and Deathstroke's family is gonna be real awkward for
I'm telling
fucking
you, I mind
John.
melded your clone.
Would you like to meld? And she slaps the shit out of it.
Wasn't that like a big Supergirl plot point? Mind melding. People mind melding each other or whatever. The dad was doing it at one point, I think.
It just reminded me of Swamp Thing and his sex fruit.
Swamp Thing and his sex fruit?
His sex fruit.
Aphrodisiac fruit.
He fucking produces a fruit and his girlfriend eats it and they have this weird sexual experience. Which I guess consuming the seed of your lover is not exactly an uncommon thing, but
yeah,
they took
some
it
people
to a
make
real
money
doing
place. It. depending on.
Usually that comes at the end of the experience. It
it's not at the beginning.
It's the whole experience.
It's very strange that they never did make this an official tie from Justice League Unlimited because it basically is how it ends. It's
even the ending, right?
By the way, do you want to do Justice League Unlimited? And then credits come up. What a strange pivot. I feel like they totally could have done this.
But like you said, it didn't come out in time, and the fucking movie ends up coming out in 2010.
And
when did Justice League Unlimited air its final episode?
I'm gonna find. I want to say it started in 2004. It ended in 2006.
Yeah.
So this comes out 4 years after that entire series ended. Bonkers.
They said time constraints, motherfucker. It took you 4 extra years.
Justice League Unlimited?
Yeah, he got it. Yeah. He said 2006. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Dwayne McDuffie dies the following year after this was released. I can't believe he's gone for so long.
What was the last movie? Doom?
That he did? Or that he was a part of? I would assume Doom if that, but Doom came out 2 years later. So he might have wrote for it.
DC really lost they really lost some sauce right there, man. I don't think animation movies have ever been the same.
What's up?
He's credited with I'm trying to find out. He's credited with doing some writing on the All-Star Superman adaptation.
Nice.
I think his last 2 credits are that and Justice League Doom, like you were talking about, which are terrific animated. These 3 are terrific animated. Then they're the only films in his credits.
What a coincidence that after that, some asshole goes, well, why don't we do a new 52 inspired animated universe of films instead? And it's just never been the same.
Well, it was weird, right? Because this was like right off the heels of New 52. Like this was like books being published and like drying, and then they would put pull them off the shelf and be like, we're doing this one next, and it's like, but it's not in order, and it's like, no one cares. We're doing Dawn of Atlantis, damn it. That's what's
Court of Owls.
Yeah. There's just some drunk dude in the corner who just keeps saying that. They're like, what are we gonna do with this Gotham Knights game? And he's like, Court of Owls.
Oh no.
What do you want to do on this next season of Gotham? Court of Owls.
I was at the Justice League War world premiere. So I got to hear or James Tucker or whatever talk about how it was like they definitely said it was like New 52 inspired. They almost made it sound like it was passed down to them. Like it wasn't their idea.
Okay.
like it was like they didn't flat out say that, but they made it sounded like we took this thing and we made it work this way, rather than I had this great idea to do this thing. It was more like, we'll make this work.
Now you're making me think of a world in which Dwayne McDuffie's the creative control over the DC animated universe, and considering those 3 films under his belt are bangers, damn, this could have been.
Could you have imagined?
Yeah, this would have been
14 movies. World. Start to finish, his own little Dwayne McDuffie world. At least 3 Static Shock films.
I was gonna say there's gonna be a lot more Static.
A lot more Milestone in there.
Yeah, I'm
Rocket and Icon.
But then we just get in trouble again, where Static just wants to spend time with his girlfriend again. It's like, oh, then we're back here.
Wait, Dwayne.
So we pull out, and there's a condom on the ground.
I just need to not do this.
Dwayne.
Funny as hell. That's
Why
funny.
is she pregnant?
Real stories. Real stories, damn it. Real stories.
It's like, wait, why does Damian get to date his little girlfriend, but I can't just
stop it. Man.
Here we go again.
Wayne, stop it.
Like I said, I found this to be like perfect in like its length, in its delivery, and its pacing, and all that kind of stuff. I did want more, but I think that you're supposed to kind of leave with that feeling. Like I said, we've seen some dreck recently from the DC animated universe.
I actually have not seen Infinite Earth at all.
I'm not even like I'm not a big doom and gloom guy, but like that is like legitimately like such a waste of time.
It's my least favorite DC animated anything, and I don't know if that makes it the worst they've ever made, but it's definitely it's on the bottom of my list.
You're if putting I could Super Pets over
under, I would gladly. I've seen the trailer for Super Pets, only the trailer, and I will still rank it above the 3 movies that I actually watched.
Oh, we're gonna have to put that on the schedule one of these days, huh?
God damn it! I'll and I promise you, I will probably enjoy it more than I enjoyed Crisis on, because it won't hurt me directly. Crisis on Earth was an attack on me.
Yeah, that was the first time you ever called somebody out by name to throw hands.
I will still fight him to this day until the day I die. I will fight this person.
I believe the last one I watched was the 2-parter Long Halloween.
That wasn't bad. It was.
I remember thinking it was okay.
Yeah. You know what killed me? It's real hard to translate Tim Sale's art, and because of that, it ends up losing a little sauce. Like the scene with all the villains and finally getting it, I was like, oh,
sure.
I don't know why I set myself up for disappointment.
Yeah, and also they were doing a lot of those, like they did the Reign of Superman, Death of Superman kind of stuff. And all that's, like I said, yeah, you guys said it all felt fine, but it never felt. The DC animated universe, both in television and in film, always made me feel like I was watching something adult, hidden with the trinkets and glitz and glamour of a cartoon.
Sure.
Like you would start off with all this bombastic music and explosions, but then you get like I'm not saying, kill Penguin or Catwoman or whatever. I'm saying kill this piece of trash for
Yeah.
what he did to you, for what he did
Which
to
is
your
the best
community,
one, by
man.
the way.
And you're just like, I'm just like, damn, this is some. Or even now, when oh, this is a this is a wonky version of Superman. This is a wonky version
Yeah.
of, and then you cut 20 minutes in, like you're skipping, like going on the timeline of the film, and you get to nothing matters, everything should be destroyed because
Yeah.
no choices in this universe mean a damn thing. That's what I'm saying. Like you get into these depths and these valleys, and I felt like everything in the recent universe has been, I don't want to say shallow, I'll say surface.
Sure.
It's all been very
No,
Yeah,
surface.
and like
I'll
Under the
call
Red
it
Hood is like
shallow.
really which out. I know you. Like,
I'll
Under the
call it
Red Hood
shallow
is
because there's no substance. There's no substance to these stories. But not only that, they take these really good stories and they'll be like, now we have 140 minutes to tell this story. But also, we're gonna try to stuff it in this little bullshit continuity we just came up with. Fuck. Okay,
or
so
a Psycho Pirate backstory.
yeah.
oh my god, they
Wait,
had
Psycho Pirate actually gets a
three.
backstory in those.
Yeah,
Oh,
he brings the
I'm
Nazis.
hurting John. I
He
feel
bring,
bad.
he creates a truce between the Nazis and the Atlanteans,
What?
if I remember correctly. That's
oh
a
my
thing,
god,
right?
they gave a whole movie to Amazo. Amazo's not even in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
No,
He's not.
no,
No, he's
no,
not.
no. And wait till you see the anti-monitor, bro. Just like a blob.
I
He's just
think
like
I
a
saw an image.
nameless face. He looks like one of the Sentinels from the Days of Future
Nice.
Past.
I just want to rip
With
my skin
remaining
off
hair.
my body. Ah!
I remember John seeing the first one and just going like,
I knew it.
but
I knew it.
I'll see what happens. And then it got progressively worse.
Well, we agreed to tackle
I,
both of them like as they came out, and like we've not done the third. That's how bad. Like we can
Oh
both
wow.
agree that we're just not gonna watch the third, and we'll just pretend that none of the rest of it ever happened.
I watched it and it's fucked up.
You seen the
It's
Is
third?
it?
fucked up.
I haven't
It's
seen
fucked up. It's fucked up. It's like you get 10 minutes. I think all together collectively across maybe 3, almost 4 hours, you get about 15 minutes of what you would want from a crisis movie.
Mm.
Which is some little with some fun action, some multiversal destruction, and people and heroes, multiple versions of them having to interact and talk about how their histories are different. Like beyond that, they decided to original content the shit out of that. I'm
It's
not gonna
so
spend
weird.
no more time talking about that because
I,
what I was gonna say
go
before we
ahead.
move on
Uh,
was that when this came out, Crisis on Two Earths, I thought it was only okay. I thought it wasn't nothing compared to Earth 2, the book. And I was like, oh, this was okay. Coming back to watching 15 years later compared to what they make now, this is fucking great.
That's what I'm saying.
This
Yeah,
is
it really
great.
raised the stock in my eyes with
I
that. And
mm.
you know what's the silliest part is what they almost sold us initially. I felt like maybe I'm misremembering things, but I feel like what they sold us initially on this 3-part crisis thing was almost like what they're trying to do or eventually will do with Secret Wars, which
All
is a
right.
love letter to all the other versions of these DC characters that we've seen in animation before, if they're gonna close that door. Because we kept hearing
that's
Mark Hamill's playing Joker, Batman Beyond's in it, and I'm like, oh shit! Like
Yeah.
they have a tried and true animated history. They can pull the
Aren't you
Super
guys
Friends.
excited to see Ian McKellen back?
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, they can bring the Super Friends in. Like this could be a whole thing, and it became so shallow and surface that they never
oh
deemed
We
it
god.
last
hired
They
time.
were
Alan Cumming.
so
Don't you like
they
that
were
one? Like,
they
what?
were so high on the smell of their own universe. Like it's like first of all, it was cut off because of whatever happened with the shift in power at DC. So they never got to tell whatever full size story they wanted, but they still insisted,
You mean the dynamic of
insisted,
power was changed?
insisted. Fuck you, Greg. On telling their Justice League origin, on probably making other movies that they wanted to make and stuffing them inside this crisis finale.
Yeah.
Fuck Fuck
Yeah,
that.
because
Fuck that.
all the
When we had
important
movies
movies
like
leading
this
up to
back then.
Crisis, all the important stories leading up to Crisis, don't you know? Or you go back in time to fight in World War II, and then you do World for a bit, then you murder Hal Jordan because he's Parallax, and then you go to the Crisis.
Did
We're
anyone
in a
even
bad
watch
place.
Legion of Superheroes?
I didn't watch Legion of
Why?
Superheroes.
Why? Why? They're just gonna kill them all. Okay, they're all
I should
dead.
have
They
watched it
don't
because
matter.
when they reference it in Crisis, and I was just like, what's
They
going on
only
here?
exist. They only exist. That whole hour and a half movie exists just to make Supergirl cry in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah,
That's what.
and then I basically was like, "Why was she crying?" And John was like, "I think that happened in Legion of Superheroes." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "All right, open and shut case. We figured that out.
She's
Emotional depth
fucking the green
detected.
one.
Yes."
She's
Again?
dead.
So yeah, hopefully this episode serves as a love letter to animated films of the past that felt like they had to have a bit more depth in it. Sometimes these things, rightfully so, are for kids and kind of punchy and not necessarily the deepest in the world, but I
Good.
feel like there are incredible stories still left to tell with these characters and with this whole new reboot and revamp. While I like things like Creature Commandos, I still want a child focused series that has adult themes. I still think that is important.
It's
I like
supposed to
Creature
be
Commandos.
all ages. It was called all ages content because it was for all the ages in the living room. The kids had something, the old people had something. They made a silly fucking nasty joke that the kids would never understand.
Yeah.
And we laughed at it, but the kids didn't
Yeah.
know what it meant, so it was okay. But now
But
you have
that's when
these
that was
it's like
mandatory fun time
it's
because you
like the
only have one
watchdog.
TV. So now you push people to other corners to go. You go watch your 3-year-old show. I'll watch my show for 20-year-olds, and then dad's upstairs watching
Goddamn
his
What
Justice
I'm
League
saying is
action
what I'm saying is I want more
pissed me
sex
off.
jokes in Coco Melon.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
no, honestly, we're talking about it now. I'm glad you brought that up because I was watching Superman the animated series. I'm on like the middle of the second season.
You
And
said
there's
Coco Melon.
the second live wire episode. You got her debut episode, and then the second episode where she breaks out
Why you gotta
and
pick up
pairs
Livewire?
herself.
I was shitting on Lori Petty like 3 hours ago.
She pairs herself with Parasite, and the whole episode she's using her sexual wiles to take advantage of men. And there is just
Interesting.
sexual innuendo after sexual innuendo after sexual innuendo after sexual innuendo, and I'm just like, I do not remember this being so horny.
Yeah.
But I was a child. It was okay. I didn't get it. I just watched it and I liked the episode. It was okay. I turned out fine. We're missing that. We really are
A little
missing
bit.
that.
A little bit. I was just talking because spoiler alert. Before we recorded this, an episode of Daredevil came out. And in that episode,
What?
without spoiling too much, he seemingly got very physical with his lady friend. And
Uh-oh.
I remarked, I was like, I think this is like the fourth person confirmed in the MCU that has sex. Because the MCU is very sexless. Possibly purposely so, because some of their audience is sexless.
Seemingly, except with Matt Murdock.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like I'm pretty sure Cap gets down. No confirmation. We know Matt gets down.
Captain America,
No.
fuck!
Oh, yeah.
No,
we do.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. No. See, we had a whole conversation about this that has been ruined by the casting choices. So now I am under. I have absolute authority that Captain America slept with Meredith Quill.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
It's just there's people that look like you in the past. Okay, it's happened.
Well, that's another thing. We know Quill fucks because of the Jackson
Will
Pollock,
fucks.
painting.
Painting
This
joke.
will be the side reel of us just talking about which
Tony-
MCU characters.
Tony Stark.
Tony made a child.
Tony Stark fucks. But
Yeah.
he was fucking before he
The
was
reporter.
even with Pepe.
Yeah, he fucked the reporter.
Yeah, that's true too. Yes.
Well, you see, but like
She-Hulk
past that,
fucks.
not most people fuck. Sam ain't getting down.
You
dirty.
don't think? You don't? Oh well, I guess Hulk.
Thor
he
should have
can't
done
fuck.
more. Him and Jane
Thor
never got.
fucked Jane.
You think so?
Come on.
Where?
No way, they didn't fuck.
On Asgard or on Earth?
Ah, man, damn, they didn't spend no off-camera time together.
That's what I'm not. I think at one point she came back for a kiss or something. But
No. You know what? I'll say this. When they do the scene in Love and Thunder, Jane has a face like she has never seen that thing before.
Oh man, that's bullshit.
I'm telling you, man. I guess
Jane
Nat
Jane does not look like she has been familiar with that thing.
I feel like Nat fucks both Clint and Bruce.
Cap.
And
She
Cap
can't
at one
fuck
point.
Bruce.
Well, she
She
did
can't
at one
fuck
point, right?
Bruce.
Isn't that what the whole Sons
They
Getting Little
wouldn't.
thing?
They were like they made the hide the zucchini joke, but then they go to almost fuck, and then he's like, "Oh, my heart rate, we can't do this. We're gonna become a Hulk." But
Absolute
this
garbage.
Yeah.
Absolute
Yeah.
garbage. And that one, and we can also
try it
say
anyway.
that one Eternal fucks. That one dude, I can't remember his name.
They both do. There's two Eternals.
There's those two
Eternals. Icarus and
Cersei.
Is it Cersei?
Isn't it Cersei? Unless I'm fucking.
It is. It probably is. It probably is Cersei. That Cersei was really nice. I don't remember Cersei being that nice. She's usually a bitch.
Yeah. Or her doppelganger was working for the Nova Corps or something like that at one point, or working for the Kree.
That's right. She's blue.
Kree army.
She's blue.
Yes.
So that's
God, that was so much.
Bow, 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 bow.
But yeah, I think it was important to look at the past, especially with this all exploration of the multiverse, because moving forward, things are not going to stop. Like, we're going to get into Daredevil when that finishes up, which is pretty soon. Then Thunderbolts right after that. Then we have Fantastic Four and Superman right after that. Two of the most
like literally on top of each other.
Yeah, two of the most important movies for their respective studios. Like, holy hell! And ironically, like, both of them are their first major properties. Marvel's first major property, DC's first major property, and the idea that both of the studios have lost sight of making a profitable, making a long-standing version of their first properties. Like, they get another chance here. It'll be very interesting to see that as it unfolds. But yeah, anytime we get a chance to look back to see where we've come from, like I said, this is 15 years ago. You could have told me this was 20 years ago. You could have told me this was 25 years ago.
Say that Superman was successful once. We're still looking for that Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
I like the 2005 movie. I think you people are all bad. You all suck. You all suck.
Made Jessica Alba quit.
We know that you like them.
She sucks too.
We know that you like that Doom had skin falling off and had little metal parts in it. We know. We saw the YouTube video you made.
It's the fucking family, okay? They're very happy together, and it's cheesy. And I think that the Fantastic Four should be allowed to be cheesy. They're the cheesiest motherfuckers I know.
I don't disagree, but I don't think it's fair that you had that lady walk all the way to the Golden Gate Bridge just to divorce Ben Grimm. Just to put a ring on the ground and walk back to her house. That was...
Why wouldn't she give it to him in his hand? Bitch.
She got dressed and drove over there.
You fucking bitch. She didn't even fully dress herself. She put a trench coat over his bedclothes. Ridiculous. You fucking bitch.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Wait till she shows up in Secret Wars.
We needed an Invisible Woman joke about her being in her underwear.
Always. I'll never argue with that.
We needed that. All right? I don't want to hear no bullshit.
Because what you always wanted to see was Jessica Alba's underwear without her.
Seeing Johnny Storm and Deadpool Wolverine confirms that they're all dead, right?
Yes, but also because the multiverse is so vast, there's probably multiple Earths where they all look like that. They all look like the Fox people.
Yeah, you can get away with that. They're gonna do it with Beast. What are they gonna do with Beast?
They are. They're gonna do that with that universe that we go to. Just looks like the Fox one. Yeah. It's got all the actors that look.
They're
like
doing the Daredevil.
That's the one with the old girl in it, right?
Yeah, Monica.
Monica
stuck there.
Yeah.
Help!
This woman who looks like my mama.
Let me show you how we do it on this earth.
He got a red pecker.
Oh dear.
Red Rocket.
Stop hunting the
No.
patients, Hank.
Please.
And now he's in Doomsday, probably to make some poor decisions.
Oh, was it? Was I hearing at one point they were saying that possibly the MCU Beast could be Jesse Plemons?
Oh, I guess so.
I never heard that.
I was hearing that somewhere that one of the many rumors sites or whatever. Like, and I'm like, you want someone to play like a sociopathic, cutting people open to just cuz kind of shit. Like,
if you wanted to start that arc,
yeah, that would be that'd be the guy. But
do you wanna address the Marvel, the DC rumor that we saw, John, that has yet to be confirmed?
I did see that. I've been seeing it for too long. Bradley Cooper as Jor-El in the Superman movie. I've been seeing that for months now, and more people are picking up on it. And I think there was legitimately,
really?
Yeah, and I think that was legitimately a test.
It's so strange. The first thing that my first reaction to that is like, oh, so he's probably not going to be British.
He talks. I need Jor-El to talk just like Rocket Raccoon.
Hey, Larry batteries.
Clark, throw this diamond up in there and then turn it to the side. I'm going to show you something real cool. This is your people's history. See, that's wrong.
Hey, pay attention.
So that's Krypton. Oh, look at the boy. He really feel good.
Yeah.
He's learning here.
Oh my god.
That is Andrew Dice Clay or some shit.
Yeah, I guess I never realized that almost all depictions have been kind of British. I don't know if we get Jor-El in
is Russell Crowe kind of British?
He is a little British. He hits him with the more like Victorian, like, Clark, when you have sex on Earth, please make sure.
I'm trying to think of the Superman and Lois Jor-El, but he wasn't around for a while.
No, he had a mom.
No, he is.
No Jor-El.
They did the mother.
Well, they had Jor-El at one point, but I can't remember. Because remember, they break the crystal that he's in. That's like a whole thing.
Did they?
Rowe broke the crystal that he was in, but I can't remember because they have a funeral for the crystal. At the end of the first season, they bury the crystal.
See, when you say it with words, it sounds stupid.
That's also a pastime over at the Fortress of Solitude, burying the crystal. Hey, but that's what we do here as part of the Matrix podcast. We talk about which MCU characters fuck, whether or not Rocket Raccoon would make a good.
Just like chubby dude.
Yeah. Like whether or not Rocket Raccoon could be Superman's dad, all kinds of things here as part of the Major Issues podcast. But like I said, we got some big projects coming up, especially with all the cool new releases that will be happening this year. So make sure that you're getting on the bandwagon before the bandwagon gets full. You can go to ComicBookClique.com to check out every episode of the Major Issues podcast. This is episode 376. So that's over 700 episodes of content. Oh, sorry, 700 episodes, 700 hours. I'm like, I just said it was 370.
You know how many fucking hours of us talking that is?
Yeah, bro, that's over 700 hours.
John, I just sent it to you.
Over 700 hours of us talking. It's great stuff, though. So, guys, check out past episodes if you haven't. So, and you can do so going to comicbookclique.com. That's where everything Comic Book Clique lives. Every article written by us. We do comic book news. We break news for castings and stuff like that. And we also, every episode of the Major Issue Podcast exists there, as well as our store, our TeePublic store. If you hit that Shop CBC link, you could purchase something, a one-of-a-kind design, and we get a kickback from every single thing purchased. That helps us out monetarily. If you want to help us out more monetarily, go to patreon.com/CBC Clubhouse. For as little as 10 cents a day, $3 a month, you can help us keep our lights on here and afford the hardware we need to create the videos and the content that we do free of charge. So make sure that you guys are supporting us any way you can. But times can be hard. People still got a couple weeks to file their taxes. So if your money is tied up, make sure to tell a friend about the Major Issues podcast. Word of mouth is how this thing spreads. We're doing great numbers, but we can always use more people. I feel like Batman at the end of this film, it's like, let me show you. Hey guys, listen. just stand dramatically, and when I open the door, just smile, okay? And he's like, yeah, let me show you. I think we should get more. I think our rank should get a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think the rank.
Hit the music.
Everyone do the fin freeze. But when yeah, man, this is just getting bigger, just getting brighter, just getting more fun. This episode marks also of the first year. I don't know how the hell this happened, but this marks the first year of our ongoing relationship with DirtSheet Radio. April up to 2024. 2024 marked
the merger.
The first mind meld between Comic Book Clique and DirtSheet Radio, where we shared our traumas, and then left money on the counter and walked out to our earth the next day.
I think I need a cigarette after this meld.
And it's been incredibly fortuitous. Those guys at DirtSheet Radio work very hard. I have two of them here. I don't know if I need to be talking about them in the third person, but these guys are the industry leaders in all things professional wrestling.
Technically, you are still a founder.
This is true. I have my tattoo somewhere. But
George Washington ass.
I'm telling you, I got the donkey teeth. But
nice.
Yeah, those guys are killing it. Doing post shows for every professional wrestling event that they could possibly do. Yeah, I
even
know.
The ones we don't like.
Things got a little dry because they were in Europe. I was gonna say things have gotten dry because they were a bit they were in Europe and time was all dilated, or maybe it was a
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
It could have been a grand scheme to get the people clamoring for more post shows, and now that we're back in America, giving the people what they want. But if you love professional wrestling, if you love pop culture, check out DirtSheetRadio.com. Check out all the things that DirtSheet Radios do, including their podcasting and all their post shows. But I will pass it over to you, Yogi, so you can continue the plug.
That's me.
Yes.
Yeah, man. DirtSheet Radio. George hit it all on the head. Head on over to DirtSheetRadio.com. Follow DirtSheet Radio on all social media. We cover pop culture news. We cover pro wrestling news. We cover, we do post-show recaps. We do during show live recaps just in case you can't watch TV. We will watch the TV for you. Tell your grandma, go ahead, watch Dancing with the Stars. We'll watch fucking 3 hours of SmackDown.
My God, I still haven't done a 3 hour SmackDown, and I love SmackDown.
And you shouldn't. And no one should.
There's only so much DIY.
All the people you love on that SmackDown don't show up all the time.
Yeah.
Only the people that have been showing up the whole time already show up on SmackDown. You get the same 6 fucking wrestlers. You know Karrion Kross is going to be there. You know Shinsuke is going to be there. You know, like, it's the same.
Shinsuke may not be there for long.
Yeah, we'll see.
I saw the New Day come out yesterday, and I went, "Who are they fighting? The LWO?" Like I didn't remember. I'm like, they're probably just gonna
fighting the British LWO.
Of all things to describe them as, I don't think they've ever been described as the British LWO, which is already a Latin NWO.
They got the guy, fucking Tyler Bate. He's still doing the same shit he was doing when he was 18 years old.
Yeah,
this motherfucker's like 50.
They even made a mustache mountain comment. I was like, "You fired the guy. You have
sex things." It was sex things.
He's got this grown man stubble and face behind this stupid fucking beard. Still, help him!
Please,
he wasted his whole life here, bro.
And you don't have to waste yours. So check out those post shows.
Yeah, but they got him out of the scene before the scene caved in on it.
Yes, I took the baby out of fucking schools and then I homeschooled it badly.
For 10 years. It's been a long time. Long time.
Find us. We're everywhere.
Yeah, as I always like to say, the DirtSheet Radio is always on. Turn it on and see what's cracking over there. But also follow us everywhere that we are, Facebook.com/ComicBookClique, Instagram @ComicBookClique, or use that hashtag ComicBookClique to find out about the latest and greatest things to come to comic books, comic book media. I know that DirtSheet Radio and ComicBookClique are the latest and greatest things in their respective fields, but I've been to the future and they get even bigger. I just can't tell you how we do it because it will mess up the timeline. And next thing you know, Martin Scorsese and Dwayne Johnson are making some sort of film and it makes $10 billion and no one wants that. So make sure Make sure that you get on the bandwagon before the bandwagon gets full. Like I said, we do all that kind of stuff. We're also at Major Issue CBC on Twitter and at Major Issue CBC on Twitch. I am preparing, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Comic Book Clique, to start my rise with Matt Murdock this year.
Dear God.
He has been created.
That's crazy.
His moveset is all kicks and punches. He's got a Titantrod. He's got an entrance. It's gonna be a fun time. Watch as civilian Matt walks the halls of my rise, and black suited Matt does the actual.
Wait, who's the? Do you have like Karen Page or a?
No, not yet. But
do we have blind wrestlers?
Crazy Steve is half blind.
Fast Eddie.
That doesn't count. You can't go blind. You can't go blind after.
I'm legally blind.
Do you remember Fast Eddie?
No, I remember Hush Holiday because he couldn't hear.
Fast Eddie was with.
These all sound like Batman matches Malone villains. Hey, go ask Hush
Fast
Holiday.
Eddie fell down the elevator shaft.
Yeah, tell him Fast Eddie sent you.
John, Fast Eddie is in like the year 1 Ring of Honor shows. He's with the Shawn Michaels school.
I only remember Michael Shane and Paul London. And the one guy who broke his leg. He went and did the fucking thing over. He did like a tope or something. Yeah. You remember that shit?
Poor guy.
He's part of that. He's one of the first guys I saw that did the fall away slam moonsault thing.
The sack of shit.
Sack of shit slam. But yeah, you've seen Matt navigate the courtroom. You've seen Daredevil navigate Hell's Kitchen. Now watch as they both try to navigate the deep sewers of the political system that is the WWE. And, on Twitch, you can do so by following us at Major Issues CBC on Twitch. But I believe that's all we have today. You guys, thank you guys so much. Again, rising tide raises all ships. I've been loving all the time and the energy you guys have been spending sharing our stuff and being a fan. And we do this as a labor of love each and every week. So just remember to do the same. We'll be here next week, and hopefully you guys will be too. But with that said, my name is George Serrano, a.k.a. The Don.
It's John Escudero, a.k.a. Yogi Uwu.
Gregory Thomas, a.k.a. GT Rebirth.
And this has been our Crisis on Two Earths recaps and review. And remember, whether you're an Owlman, a Batman, an Ultraman, or a Superman, or just want to see how it gets done on Mars and want to mind meld, remember that we are the Clique. And always remember that you, yes, you are, you see it, worthy.